Welcome to MPC Markets, Bulls versus Bears podcast series, Global Alpha Edition, your weekly catch-up on global markets. This week, the boys will cover Trump deadlines, do they matter for all stocks, the market wrap as per usual, and what to do with Tesla. As per usual, the content presented in this podcast is for informational purposes only and provides general advice. We strongly recommend you seek the advice of a professional before making any investment decisions. Welcome to the MPC Markets Global Alpha Edition of Bulls versus Bears. Recap of the week, Richard Nader. What caught your eye this week?
Really, the FAANG stocks really leading a bit of strength moving towards the end of the week. Of course, market closed on Friday, quiet there. Besides Tesla, I think the majority of those FAANG stocks were lifting up, and the chip stocks really leading the charge there. Nvidia, as well, dragging some of those other players along to Broadcom, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, there was obviously that Tesla Twitter, the Elon Musk, Donald Trump Twitter spat this week. I think he got deported. He's been threatened to be deported. Is that correct?
Started his own party.
And then started his own political party over the weekend as well. So, look, we'll see what the consequences are for that on, over the course of, the coming weeks. But obviously, we've got some Trump deadlines coming up, which most of these got shifted. So over the weekend, the August 9th deadline, the July 9th deadline got shifted. So negotiations got shifted to August the 3rd. So what implications that does, I mean, initially there's been a bit of buoyancy, but I guess that does give a little bit of wiggle room for that July seasonality where there's a bit of strength to come in. Overall, we've got earnings season coming up, Rich, as well. It's usually a pretty good time for the Global Alpha with the recommendations.
Financials start probably next week. We've got a couple of retails this week. Delta Airlines, so that nothing major. We're really, the next few weeks to do our recommendations, I'd say. Those earnings seasons similar to last year.
Yeah, look, he has said that he's going to bring 12 countries to account in a speech tonight. So, look, would you agree? There's probably just more volatility ahead. Do you think?
Yeah, some slight volatility, but I think it's
so. What do you think would be? What are the themes do you reckon that realistically, Trump's tariff war aside, really punch through?
Time for AI and defence really at the moment. They're the main theme. I reckon that will be unaffected by all of this, and they're going to be consistent through the end of this year and next.
Yeah, I think they probably, particularly the defence one, we're talking $1 trillion of extra spending globally over the next, over the next couple of years. And look, how much cash? Something like $750 billion. I think the Mag 7's sitting on with cash.
All in T-bills.
All sitting in T-bills apparently.
Yeah.
So. I did hear a thing about that stable coin, the the USDC coin. That's all getting pushed to T-bills as well, where that personal holdings of US Treasury bills is heading higher. So.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. So the theory goes that all those USD stable coins have to obviously have some USD. So it could be a way that enables USA to roll there. Basically, they have I forget the number, maybe like $7 trillion to roll over this year.
Yeah,
and so that'll help roll that. And obviously, Trump wants lower rates. He wants to fire Jerome Powell and get someone in there that will drop rates. But, he gets his way. Yeah, that will open up doors for some inflation. All that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, defence as well. We're looking at European defence, Richie. Those countries are obviously going to want to spend in their own backyard, and obviously AI, empowering AI and the AI chip is a very big, it's a national security essentially. And as Jensen has said from Nvidia, they're not going to let a little pesky thing like power get in the way. So yeah. But what about Tesla? I'm pretty bullish Tesla myself, but very much on a long-term view. But obviously getting into a Twitter spat with the president, not great for the near term. What are your general thoughts on you know,
I was looking to buy Tesla as Elon was moving out of the media and moving away from politics. I thought it was a shift back to Tesla promoting business what they're planning to do. Obviously, like they've got heavy with their earnings period. We've had indications that sales are quite low in Europe. Here, their numbers are pretty bad as well.
Well, they burnt some Teslas in Europe, didn't they?
Yeah.
There was a big backlash against him. So
that aside, I think I'm not focusing on business for myself anyway. Next earnings season, probably won't be buying them until after that, where he can put a bit more focus into the Tesla business.
Well, then he's going to start a political party.
Yeah, well, that's
as
the
well.
thing. So, if he, how heavily is he going to engage in the party? How much is he going to post about it? And how little is he going to be putting his own on Tesla? I think is a good question there. For me, I think I'd be avoiding it towards the end of this year.
Yeah,
that's just me personally.
Yeah, well, I'll just throw my 2 cents in. So we had a tax deferred thing with Nvidia, Microsoft, and Tesla. Tesla was the one that was very polarizing. Basically, the only people that invested were people that actually drove Teslas themselves. So, the thing with Elon is as polarizing or even more than Trump himself. So it's a real love and hate relationship with investors out there.
I just really got the feeling that there's going to be an Elon's back announcement, and the robo-taxis obviously in Texas. But this stock is so volatile. Like we rallied when Trump got elected, it doubled.
Yep.
When basically ever since it's now half. But those robo-taxis now, I just think that I'm just getting the feeling that their PR department's going to try and, as much as they're probably pulling their hair out at Elon starting a political party, there's no elections for a little bit. So maybe the Elon's back thing.
Let's not forget he is a great salesman. Yeah, like he gets out there. I remember like when how long ago was when the actual Cybertruck came out? Because like he never delivered on that for like.
He's notorious for not delivering
6,
on
7
stuff.
years, but he was like he pre-sold it. So he sold the dream. So if he can sell the dream on the robo-taxi, watch that stock go.
Well, effectively your car can yield for the first time instead of being an depreciating asset. So look, I think we're both sides of the coin there. Obviously, you'll have to refer to the recommendations to see if we're buying it leading into the numbers. But what have we got ahead this week, Richie? I know it's a quiet week, but much in the way of earnings or anything to worry about too much.
As I said, financials starting next week, this week, just retail, Delta Airlines, Progressive, things that we're not really looking at or covering at the moment.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And obviously, if you want to get our trade recommendations, the Global Alpha is available. And we have like a sister podcast to that where we go into more depth into the recommendations. So you'll have to subscribe on the MPC Markets website, mpcmarkets.com.au. Thanks, guys. That's done. That literally first take.